A video has been spreading widely over the past few days and has sparked huge discussions across the Chinese internet. The impact it has had on viewers is very strong, and many people said they felt extremely uncomfortable and upset after watching it. This is what happens in the video. A father is frantically twisting the door handle, desperately trying to force open his daughter's bedroom door. Then the situation gets even worse. He starts kicking the door hand, smashing it with a chair, and even knocks over an electric fan during the chaos. Throughout the entire outburst of violence, the mother is the one filming the video. She records everything as it happens and later explains the whole situation in the caption. According to the mother's explanation, the whole thing started because the father noticed some dandruff on his daughter's scalp after she finished washing her hair. He immediately suspected that she had used a tissue to wipe her hair dry. That suspicion made him furious. He started smashing the hairdryer and throwing the chair around. The daughter became so scared that she ran into her room and locked the door. The mother tried to stop her husband from being violent, but she failed, and she was also beaten by him. In the end, the door was forced open, and the daughter was slapped several times. Seeing such an absurd reason, it is really hard to understand why something as simple as a dandruff issue could trigger such completely out-of-control violence. In the comment section, one netizen pointed straight to the core of the issue and analyzed the internal logic behind the father's rage. The father believed that his daughter used tissues to wipe her hair and even felt that it was a waste of tissues. On top of that, when he saw his daughter lock the door to avoid him, it felt to him like his authority was being challenged. Some people experience pressure or frustration at work, and when they return home, they finally dare to release the emotions they have been holding in for a long time onto their children. Shen Yifei, a professor at Fudan University who specialized in Asian parent-child relationships, once said that deep down, everyone carries an emperor dream. When parents feel that sense of control and authority within the family, they become unable to tolerate any challenge to their authority. Many parents prove their power and sense of personal value by controlling children who are weaker than them. They treat their children as outlets for their emotions and demand unconditionally obedience, using that obedience to satisfy their inner desire for control. If you look around, you'll realize that there are quite a few parents with this kind of emperor addiction. Their behavior can even cause serious harm to their children's physical and mental well-being. For example, a middle school girl once recorded a moment when her mother was forcing her way into her room.
你看看，你有什么资格心情不好？天天在家里有吃有喝，还心情不好，给你报一堆钱的课，怎么样？你那些课浪费我一堆钱，妈的，真的是我越想越气，越想越气。你有什么资格做？你全年体力了吗？
At the time, the girl was in a bad mood and just wanted to stay alone in her room for a while, but her mother refused to allow it and even flew into a rage. This kind of display of control is honestly chilling. Cases like this are everywhere. Many parents treat their children as if they are tools that belong to them. They believe that because of their provide their children with food, clothing, and the chance to go to school, they automatically have the right to completely control and dominate their children. Some cases go even further. Some parents completely lose their temper simply because their child refuses or pushes back. For example, one father asked his daughter whether there was a coupon for a certain restaurant. The daughter replied, "Okay," and even helped him place the order. But for some reason, the father suddenly exploded in anger and even threatened that his daughter would face karma and get what coming to her. In cases like this, the parents' violent reactions almost always happen for the same reason. The child dared to express their own opinion or dared to say no. In the eyes of these parents, children are not supposed to have their own independent will, and they are not supposed to question their parents' authority. If a child's behavior does not match what the parents expect, the parents become furious and may even resort to violence to regain control. They treat violent behavior as a way of educating their children and convince themselves that it is a form of love. But in reality, this kind of behavior is essentially emotional blackmail. And the core of this emotional blackmail is the belief many parents hold that their children are their possessions. They think children should obey every command without question and should not be allowed to have independent thoughts or feelings of their own. For example, there was a kid who got beaten by his dad on his own birthday just because he asked his dad to buy him a birthday gift. He wanted a watch, and that alone made his dad lose it. The dad started kicking the trash can and flipping everything off the coffee table. There was also a girl who simply refused a dirty piece of cake her dad handed to her. Just because of that, her dad grabbed a package, something heavy inside, and threw it at her, injuring her head and her eye. Violent behavior from parents does not only harm the child physically, it also leaves deep and lasting damage to their mental health. When violence becomes the only way parents communicate, a child's inner world slowly gets destroyed. The home is no longer a warm and safe shelter, but a place filled with fear, anxiety, and pressure, when even the smallest act of resistance from the child can trigger explosive anger from the parents. The child's psychological well-being is inevitably pushed to the edge. Long periods of emotional pressure and violent abuse can lead to emotional disorders, seriously affecting how these children build relationships and develop emotionally later in life. Even worse, some of them may grow up developing a dependence on violence. They may start to see violence as a normal way to communicate, copying the same methods their parents used and becoming unable to deal with conflict or stress in a healthy way. A classic example that many people have seen is Jackie Chan's movie New Police Story. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. The main villain in the film, Quan Chu, is the leader of a criminal gang. He deeply hates the police, has a twisted mindset, and shows strong antisocial traits. Ironically, his father is actually the highest-ranking police commander in Hong Kong. The reason he grew up to become such a cold and violent person is because his father controlled him with violence throughout his childhood. Both verbal abuse and physical beating were a constant part of his life. He never felt even a little bit of love from his father. Because of that, in his eyes, everyone who worked in the same profession as his father was a bad person. As he grew older, that hatred naturally twisted inside him, and he developed a deep desire to destroy all of them. Although movies and TV shows often include artistic exaggeration, we still have to admit that when violence and oppression become the normal way of parenting in a family, it's very difficult for a child to grow up into a healthy, independent, and confident person in that environment. Real fatherly or motherly love is not about blind obedience or forcing a child to comply. It should be a two-way relationship built on mutual respect, understanding, and care. Love should be the respect that children willingly give to their parents, not obedience that is forced out of fear. In a healthy family relationship, parents should let go of excessive authority. Listen to their children's voice and build a way of communication that is based on equality and understanding. Only in this way can the relationships within the family become healthier and more harmonious. Parents should be guides for their children, not oppressors. Only by respecting a child's feelings and needs can a family raise children who are truly confident, independent, and mentally healthy. In the end, I hope every child can grow up surrounded by warmth and love, rather than spending their childhood under pressure and violence. A family should not be the territory of a tyrant, but a shelter for the child's heart. Alright, that's it for today's video. On my channel, there are many other interesting videos waiting for you to check out. Feel free to click and watch. And if you enjoy my content, don't forget to follow me and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!